Welcome to Big Beard and Friends, episode 289. All right, folks, listen, I hope on this Friday evening, or whenever you're watching, I hope that you're having a fantastic day. I hope that whatever brings you down or has you down, listen, you're going to get through it. It's hard. It's very hard, but don't give up. And I know it's easy to hear it week after week after week, but listen, you're somebody. You do a lot for people, so it's time to work on yourself. You're not selfish for doing that. You're actually pretty smart. See, you got to work on yourself so you can continue to help others and motivate others. Because if you don't, others can take advantage of you. Others will do things to you that you would never do to them. It's kind of what I want to talk about tonight. Tonight, I'm going to talk about boundaries. Okay, now listen. When you think boundaries, what do you think of? I'll give you a second. When you say boundaries, what happens? You think guidelines, right? You think restrictions, right? You think places you shouldn't go, things you shouldn't cross. You know, that is kind of true. But really, when it comes to our health and the overall of what we have going on with us, they are guidelines and things that they're limitation. For instance, to set yourself up for disaster is one thing. So to not do that, what would you do? You would protect yourself. So these are limits to protect yourself. Well, not only yourself as a whole, but your mental, your emotional well-being, your physical well-being. You got to have boundaries. You got to have those guidelines. No? Right? Okay. So you also want to set clear to people in the most respectful way. Don't do that again. I didn't like that. Stop it. Say these things. Now, hearing me talk about it, you might go, he's not really smart, is he? He sounds like an idiot. To a lot of people, it might. But if the message is in something for you, guess what happens? You get the message. If it's not for you, you won't. You might not even care about boundaries. You may not even care about things like that. You just go frolicking on through life. You dig? You might not have a care, but why do boundaries matter? Why would you think boundaries matter as far as friendships? Why? Think about it. Relationships as well. We'll talk about that in a moment. But what about your friendships? Was it a no-brainer? You got to have boundaries in friendships, okay? I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what's going on. I don't care how long you've known them, because your mental and your emotional health is way more important than a friendship. But listen here, folks, here's the kicker. Sometimes, and most of the times, we need friends who will be there. But you also need to be the friend if the other one is not. If one of you is or not, that is not afraid to tell the other friend the truth. Nothing but the truth, and as they say, the whole truth. Tell that friend. Tell, look, you want the real truth, and you come to me. I feel that more people will respect that. Oh, well, I might lose some friends, or they'll never talk to me anymore. Then they don't need to. That means they can't face the truth, that wall that is in front of them. Huh? They're probably like, oh, I don't like hearing that. I can't, that person's, they just want to be negative. They'll start talking about it. When they have nothing to say about you, they'll start attacking your character. This is true. So emotionally and mentally, that's going to drain you on top of what they say, what they don't say. See, I believe, once again, this is just an opinion. There's people out there who like to argue, and there's people out there who just like to argue to prove points. And then there's some petty arguing where they want to get the last word. No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't. I think I do. I don't. And no, but it does. And it does. And then there's a repetitive argument. When you constantly repeat yourself in an argument, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. You can say what you want, and I hope I don't get a lot of slack for this, but I'll stand on this hill. I have this firm belief that if all you do is repeat yourself in an argument, you have nothing to say. You can't counteract with nothing. You're just trying to truly just out loud the other person, and you're running your mouth. Now, it might not be true, but if all you do is sit back and repeat the same thing over and over, Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. You are a petty, petty, petty person. I don't care who you are. If that's the most child, go out and break something, get the argument over, yell real loud, walk away, do something. But to stand there and you have nothing to say. But you got to have boundaries. You see what I'm saying, folks? Mentally, it's draining. I'm sure that I've been the reason someone wanted to push boundaries. I hope not. But I hope I'm the person that would like to inspire you to go, what? He's right. We do need boundaries. But friendships they can make me cry right now. Thinking of the friendships that I feel that I've lost, literally, over setting boundaries. When you can foster that sense of balance, you want to do all you can to not burn out. You know, it's hard. You want your needs met. I read about this stuff. You want your needs met, but sometimes getting there, you have to set boundaries, folks. You dig? People make the world hard, and we know that, but you can have relationships that are healthy. They are such thing. When you have a good friend that tells you real truth, tells you what's going on, tells you, hey, this right here is how it needs to be. This is what's going on. Self-awareness, someone that'll bring out the best in you, and sometimes the beast in you. And what I mean by that is when you need to keep going, they bring that out. That's good. Put a boundary up to stop the toxicity, the bad people, and you should actually include in there, put a door up to welcome the positiveness, the positivity in. People are out there wanting to inspire people, wanting to tell people, hey, it's okay to not be okay. You need boundaries. There's types of boundaries in the world that we don't think about. And you may look at yourself and say, well, what are some of those types of boundaries? Well, one, physical. Now, it's the physical contact. Not only that, but it's space, time and space you might need. And it could be many years. It could never break out of that. You might not ever go back because that person you just can't get over, cross the line. Or perhaps you don't want them to go away and you want to continue, but you want things different now, but you still want to on a different level, but you just want your time. Here's one that gets a lot of people. Emotional boundary. The emotional boundary. They help your feelings and, well, your emotional intimacy that you have. These are deep. I mean, I'm reading them. I'm adding my 2 cents in it. They're deep to, it's crazy to think how many boundaries we have. You got time. Time's a good one. I mean, it involves like setting your limits on your availability to someone else, such as work hours or your social engagements. But that's true. I have friends that I can't wait to hang out with. I can't. That I'm just like, I want to, but I have this busy life. My itinerary changed lately and I'm busy and I stay busy. And the truth is, folks, I mean, I'm just saying it on myself, about myself. If I have that time in between to do nothing, I take advantage of it. I can't go places right now. I can't do this. I get tired. I'm already tired from being up 12 hours and being outside like 8 and doing this karate class or taking a child here, and that's an hour and this. And then by the time that happened, and I feel that my friends think that I'm unavailable to them. And in reality, it's not that I'm unavailable. I get a busy life, but that's my boundary. I draw the line at my family, as I think all of us should. My family will come first, do the home front so I can play later, work hard, play hard. I love hard. I live hard. That's true. All those are, that's true. But here's a good one. The type of boundary is social media. Right now, you're looking at a video on social media of some kind. It can prevent those excessive communications, what you don't need. I mean, I'm sorry, if all you do is talk on the internet to your friends, that's cool. If that's the only place you see them, that's the only time you ever, I'm not saying don't talk, it's a social media. But if you're too busy to hang out all the time, if you're too busy, you can't stay on social media. That means you're avoiding or you're lying or something. And perhaps you see them, as I do a lot, and I can't talk right now because it's in my pocket. I got it in my apron or my nail or my pocket. I'm just like, hey, and sometimes I look at the end of the day and I'm like, I got like 20 notifications. But that's my boundary. Draw the line at picking up social media so much, at looking at it. That can, like I said, it can promote a healthy work life that we need, that you need. And a healthy work life can benefit a lot of people, can benefit you. Absolutely. You may even look at yourself and you might have problems thinking about how to set boundaries. You got to identify your needs. Recognize those personal needs that you have. That's important. And your wants, and you need to understand where those boundaries are necessary. Yeah. And it says in number 2, and I was reading in it and realized we'll go on numbers here just for a moment, is communicate clearly. Folks, that's a big thing. Communication. You can talk all day. You can hear the other person all day and they can hear you, but did they listen? More so, did they respect you? You need to articulate your boundaries respectfully, ensuring that these others will understand that you might or might not, want to do this or be like this today. You might not be available, and let them know how you expect to be treated type thing. I think it's important. Boundaries will get you probably some people pushed away or some people not in your life, as it has me, and most of it go and I'm a firm believer that if they leave you over boundaries or something like that, especially if you're trying to be respectful about it and talk and be mature, if they leave you and don't want to talk to you for things like that, look, give them that space. Let them go and do that. It's going to upset you, and I'm sorry that it upsets you. That hurts when people just want to do you wrong, when you've been there. And even though it's hard, it's something I believe we must go through to grow through. You've got to be a strong individual to put up with somebody so many years and to be in situations like best friends and things. And then all of a sudden one day they're just like, boom. Listen, I've lost friendships for over 25 years because people crossed boundaries finally. They changed. And listen, as hard as it was easy to let them go. I've done enough to know that I don't want to be on their level again, and nor do I want to be anywhere near that at all. Look, you got to know the consequences. Be clear on them. If you cross the line, I'm cutting you off. I know it's easier said than done. You just can't cut people off, Big Beard. You just can't sit back and, yes, you can. Now, I'm not going to get deeper into this, but if that's you and there's people out there that crosses the boundary line, what happens in prison, or at least in the old movies they used to say, or back in when you cross the boundary line, what happens? They stop you. In other words, it's what I'm saying. But if you set a boundary and it's crossed, you got to follow through with the reinforcement, because you want them to respect your limits and respect yourself. I'm telling you, I'm going to say it once again. Be clear. Be clear. And finally, you can review and adjust. And as it says here, periodically check in with yourself. Tell yourself, hey, your boundaries. Ask if they're still working. And I know, like, asking questions to yourself. Think about it. Is this still working? Okay, this is good. This is good. This is not good. This is not working. Set a new boundary and literally make adjustments to that as much as you need. You need to get yourself right. I'm telling you, you are important. You're important to others. You're important to people. Speak the truth about yourself. If that's not how you feel, or a certain way, this or that, tell everybody. Boundaries are hard not to set, to reinforce. You dig? The older you get, you'll find that you've got boundaries for people, and those boundaries that you set a long time ago are still in place. If that happened and a boundary has helped you, then you really know what it's about, and you know. Folks, that's all I got this evening. I'm going to tell you right now, take care of yourself and respect others, and literally set those boundaries. It's okay. It's okay. Now I got 3 words that I say that take me out week after week. Take us out of this. Oh, yeah, folks, have a good evening. And love, peace, chicken grease. Later, guys, and thanks for watching.
Presentations.